This morning I decided to ride my bike, but as soon as I got the bike out, I realized my tires were flat, and it took me a few minutes to find my pump. So Jeff held up his promise after last video that he wouldn't be late again, and here I am 5 minutes late.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing?
What's going on, dude?
Welcome to the pool. It's beautiful out. You ready to jump in here?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Let's go swimming.
How's it going in the pool today?
It's going pretty good, man.
Yeah.
What's been? Is this the Veterans Memorial Pool?
Yeah, Veterans Memorial Pool.
Right
We're out
Memorial.
here. Pretty sweet. Down by the Charles River in Cambridge. So,
It's free.
it's free.
So I like that. Beautiful day. Swimming is going pretty well. We were just talking about how we just swam for 10 minutes straight just to kind of see how stamina was. This is a longer pool than I've been practicing in. This is what, 50 meters? And I was saying, just like when I go for a run, like I might go for a 6 or 8 mile run, and the first half mile, or like climbing a mountain too, the first like half mile or mile that you're going up the mountain, it's exhausting, and like the first lap is like I'm totally out of breath and feel like, how am I going to keep going? But you do keep going, and you kind of you establish that cadence and you find that flow, and I'm working on it. I mean, there's maybe 5 or 6 strokes that I feel like I got this, and then I swallow some water, and then I flail like a fish, and then figure it out again. So it's tough, but we're getting there.
Time for another lap.
Yeah, you can film this lap and see how terrible my form is. We just finished up a half mile swim in total, not continuous, just to practice for my first triathlon. It's the Xterra off-road triathlon out in Western Mass this Saturday, where I have to swim a half mile either in a river or a lake or something. It's not a pool, and that has to be continuous, and it's gonna be hard, but I've done what I could over the last month to prepare.
You can see that sense of doubt, but I'm going to say that you are in here and you're doing the work, and we talked about how challenging it is whenever you're trying something that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, and you kind of feel like you suck at it and it's hard, and part of you just sort of wants to give up and you say screw this, but yet you're in there and you keep going, and it gets a little bit easier each time, and that consistent practice is what's going to get you there. So I just
Totally,
want to
yeah.
appreciate you for sticking it out, even when it kind of sucks and doesn't feel like it's getting you anywhere.
Yeah, no, I have no desire to give up, but I definitely don't like not being good at something, and swimming is something that I'm just not good at yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm getting there. And actually, some of the tips that we worked on today, like you say, like what you noticed that was like, I wasn't doing so well, and then what are the things that you gave me the pointers that made a difference?
Yeah, for sure. And I am not a swim coach, so if there are swim instructors out there, if anything I'm saying is incorrect,
please comment below.
Yeah, message
let us know.
Let us know. But a few things that like we did notice initially. I mean, firstly, it was kind of Ronzio sort of lifting his head to breathe. So we want to make sure that we're not going to lift our head, extend through the neck, but more the rotation, or also just generally holding your breath.
Yeah.
So just being sure that we're having this smooth, regulated breathing pattern, that we're constantly exhaling as our head is in the water, so we're ready to take that breath in when the arm comes up.
I'm like concentrating so much on the different tweaks I'm trying to make to my form that I forget to breathe underwater, and then I twist and I'm like, and like rather than that slow exhale underwater.
Yeah. So really common problem anytime you're getting in underwater is just first getting really comfortable with the breathing. Second thing was there was kind of a lack of rotation in his stroke. He, initially remained his body just sort of very pointed towards the bottom of the pool, and we need to get more twisting, rotating action in there. That's going to make your stroke more streamlined. That's going to enable you to get your arm out of the water and overhead. And so we're kind of warming up.
Let's see your shoulder overhead mobility though. Hold on.
I have very open shoulders.
Very open shoulders. Mine go like that. They should be like that.
Another thing we saw was that his elbow was kind of dropped on his pull through, and so having him thinking about bringing his elbow over his hand as he was pulling his arm down through the water, and then kind of leading with the elbow as he was reaching back up and out of the pool, really helps
a sideways shot of that,
making his stroke a little more efficient, right? So the stroke is not a straight arm circle, right? The elbow is going to bend as you pull through the water, and then lifting the elbow back out, enabling you to recycle that, right? So it shortens it a little bit. I think another thing to think about is that when people are swimming, and especially when they're trying to go fast, is they assume that just taking kind of faster, heavier strokes is going to help, but actually sometimes slowing down your stroke cadence, learning to glide and just to be more effective with each pull through, so maybe pulling through with a little more force, but slowing down the rate of each pull is actually going to be a much more efficient swimming pattern than trying to go as fast as you freaking can with arms that aren't really doing a good job pulling through the water in a streamlined fashion.
Yeah.
So we played around a little bit with tempo, a little bit with finding that coast and that glide. And I think, from his very first lap to his very last lap, there was definitely some solid,
a lot of progress.
Yeah. Improvements.
The elbow thing, you were like saying pretend there's a string attached to your elbow and have that pull out and then come back like that. Helped a ton for me, and that was just the last lap that we figured that one out. and it improved like my cadence and my tempo and my feel of the flow of the swimming so much. What you said about like trying to go as fast as you freaking can at the start, like that is a problem I have with swimming, with a lot of other things, but with swimming specifically, think about any time that I have been in a pool and like done a freestyle. I was never on a swim team. I never did races. I never swam laps. So the only time I've ever done this was like when my brother and I were in the pool and we were racing, or my friends and I were racing. Like it was only ever to get from one place to the other as fast as possible. So for me, as soon as I go and I start, I just like, the only baseline I have for this type of swimming is going as fast as I possibly can. And so to like pull that back and work on form and slow myself down, it's been a challenge.
Yeah.
But it's been good.
And you need different techniques for, different purposes, right? I mean, this is not a 100-meter dash, right? This is a mile run, right? You're going to have to pace yourself. You're going to have to take a slightly different approach.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
It's been an awesome month or month and a half, whatever, like getting ready for my first triathlon, and I'll check in after this weekend. Probably after the holidays, because you're going to be away next week.
Yep.
So after July 4th,
we'll get a full recap.
We'll get together and we'll recap the race, and we'll assess what we want to train for going forward.